something like. If you saw on the bulletin or in the Facebook post, we have a special guest speaker this morning. This is Brother Todd Storks and the wife. She's right over. Raise your hand. Yes. So I always love telling the story about them, but I'm going to wait till worship time. I won't take up one of your last time. Oh, well, you can ruin it now. I'll just do it again at worship time. But we took a little bit getting started, so I'll turn it over so he can go through his presentation. Are you on? Is this pretty much?
We good? Can you hear me okay? I'm not blasting your ears out yet. All right. Save that for later. Good morning. So glad you are here. My name is Todd Storks. This is my beautiful wife Susan. Took my last name, thankfully, and Storks. It's been a minute. Some of you probably know us, maybe from a while ago. Many of you probably do not know us, know Susan and I. Our roots come back to here. Susan and mine, we met in Rio Rancho area, married here, lived here for a while. I worked at Aero Parts Manufacturing and Repair, as a quality control inspector for some years, and then God put out a roadmap of different paths to choose, and we've chosen, hopefully wisely. So we're here today, and we're excited. So excited to help you understand and teach and tell you about our work in Tanzania. We've lived there before. We've done this journey before, but we've been invited back to go to Tanzania again. So we're privileged and thankful to be able to do that. Might not look like it. We've been married 32 years. They say you start looking alike after so many years. I don't know if that's the case. I hope that I look more like her than her like me. I hope that's the case, but we've been married 32 years. I get to have two beautiful children, wonderful children. Wesley is our son. He's 30 years old. He's married to our bonus daughter, Lydia. And they almost 5 years they've been married now. They live in Florida right now, currently. I have a daughter, her name is Haley. She's 27. And this congregation helped us with them many years ago. She's married to our bonus son Mason, and they have a amazing son Silas, almost 3. Let your mind wrap around that one for a minute. The energy of a 3-year-old and the amazingness. You'll find I use words that aren't really dictionary words. Amazing son, Silas, grandson Silas. He's our grandson. And they have just last week, Haley gave birth to her second, Judah. That's biblical, you know. Silas and Judah, both biblical names, if you didn't catch that. Anyway, our journey, Susan and I, our journey began right here in this very building. Baptistry's still here, right? In this very baptistry. Our marriage to Christ, our beginnings started right here from this building in 1998 when we obeyed the gospel. Joe McDaniel was the preacher then, and we had a jerky shop right across here in off of Southern, in the plaza, and didn't even know this congregation existed. We were just lost in the world. Didn't know any better. And we realized we needed something, and we now know what that was and is in the Lord. And so our roots go back a little bit here. I've been in full-time ministry to some degree ever since then. Our work in Tanzania, my work in Tanzania actually, and Susan's, she didn't go with me in the beginning. I went on short trips, starting back in 2005. That's when I started to go to Tanzania. And I fell in love with it. Absolutely fell in love with it. I would come back. She can attest to this. My wife can. I would come back a different person, blazing with just on fire for the Lord. 100% a changed individual. I did that for several years. I would go back and do short trips, and then my family took them back a time with us. They fell in love with it, just the same. The first time we went as a whole family. My wife, my son, my bonus son Mason and daughter Haley. We were all there together. That's the first time we went. This time it's just going to be Susan and I. But we have been invited to move back to Africa, to Tanzania, East Africa. Heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? You go for us." And I said, "Here am I, send me." That's a missionary. That's somebody that loves missions and loves mission work and loves to go and be there. Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 8. That's in me on the right. I've changed a little bit since then. The man in the third man in from the left is Mashika, checkered shirt, the vest. He always wears that fishing vest. I don't know where he got it. It's from America. I have no idea where he got it, but that's Mashika. Great translator. All I got to do, I can call him at midnight and say, "Mashika, I need to go do this with this person." He's right there, just right there, ready to go. Love that man. He's a very good man. See, the pointer works for me right now. Pointer's not working. It's okay. I don't need a pointer. I don't care. That's fine. But anyway, that's just a group. I had a Bible study with this. Started with with a mama on the right there, next to me, and the family came in and got involved. And it's amazing. You can start a Bible study with one person over there. Before you know it, you have 10, 15 people involved. And I hope I don't run out of time. Is time an element today? I think probably not, right?
Good.
We're going to treat it like Africa. Take your watches off and cover the clock. I'll get through it, I promise. There are lives to brighten, there are hearts to touch, and there are souls to save. Thomas S. Monson. And that's what we intend to do, is to go back to Tanzania, and to go back and live among the Tanzanian and African people. All throughout East Africa, but mainly in Tanzania. That's what our goal is. The Spirit of Christ is the spirit of missions. The nearer we get to Him, the more intensely missionary we become. Henry Martin said that. I wanted to show you this slide here. It's kind of dark actually, but you can get the gist of it. You see the world there, right? You can see the whole world there, just kind of flattened out. You can see the United States, of course, and then you see Africa, you see South America. You can see all of it. But this is how we see the world in America, in general. This is what we see. We see a world. It's got colors. You see boundaries. You see borders. You see it's all separated, segregated, separated. However you want to say it, both are probably correct. But this is how we see the world, with boundaries. This is how God sees the world right here. This is how God sees the world. God's view. 7 billion souls, approximately, probably growing daily, minutely, secondly, no doubt. Here's what God sees. The fields are white for harvest. There are no boundaries. There are no borders. God doesn't see that. God doesn't see a border between the southern United States and Mexico. God doesn't see that. Mankind has done that. We've put boundaries and borders. And I don't think that's the way that God likes it to be at all. And so that's why Susan and I, we feel that we are called back into the mission field. Here's our task. Here's what we're going to do. John 3:16, we all know that one. Here's what we need to do here and everywhere, is to tell people the greatest story ever told. For God so loved the world, we know this. You can even say it with me if you want. That He gave His only begotten Son, whoever believes in Him should not perish, but have eternal or everlasting life. Some versions. That's our goal. That's our task. We feel very strongly we need to do. As a Christian, we all should feel that way, correct? We all need to be feeling that way. Whether it's in our own backyard or next state over or wherever. That's the way that we all need to be seeing things. So that's our task. Here's where we're going to be at. Tanzania, big continent of Africa. The eastern coastal area. Of course, we won't be on the coast. We'll be inland quite a ways. But that's Tanzania. I just wanted to show you that. There's where we will go back, and there's where we will lay our head on pillows in the evening time in Tanzania. Here it is close up. I wanted to show you this one here because I wanted to point out there are 63 million souls just in Tanzania alone. 63 million souls in Tanzania alone. I don't know, America's probably 350 million now or something like that, I guess. I don't know what our current population is in the United States of America. 63 million souls in Tanzania. Where we're going to be where we're going to be at in the Arusha area, there are, to my knowledge, I just looked this up a couple of days ago, might be off a little bit, 1.7 million souls. 1.7 million souls, and we're going to live right in the heart of that, Arusha. That's where we're going to be at. Imagine going out your door, these doors, to some dirt roads and some. That's not even exaggerated. Of course, everything's grown up here so much since we left last time, and when we spent time here before in '98. But imagine going out here and bam, there's 1.7 million souls. Bicycles are walking, women are walking with a basket on their head, or a 5-gallon bucket of water. That weighs 35 pounds, by the way, if you didn't know that. 7.5 pounds a gallon. Actually, 40 pounds. Women in dress skirts walking down here with 5-gallon buckets of water on their head because they don't have faucets. They got to go to the local well, like the woman at the well, right? In the Bible, they have to go to a certain area. If I had 3 days, I could tell you about what we've got in the works for that too. But anyway, the work began in 1998. Let me go back a minute to that. There were two congregations, the Arusha congregation and Usa River. Usa River's a chunk away. It's a car drive, a good car drive away. There was a combined Sunday morning attendance, and this is in 1998 that this took place, the year we made the gospel. 1998, there were 45 souls in those two congregations. That included men, women, and children, okay? And maybe a goat outside the window, or because you see that all the time too. There are no windows really. There's just open air. Everything's open air, and might have been a goat, or you might hear sheep. They might even come in the building while you're preaching. It's just, I love it. That's the way it is. That's the way life is, and the way life happens over there. 45 souls, two congregations, 1998. Today, there are 300 congregations in the northern circuit between Moshi and Karatu. There's nearly 3,000. It's hard to get an accurate count in Africa, but there are nearly 3,000 individual souls worshiping on any given Sunday or whatever. They might meet on Thursday night instead of Wednesday night. You don't have to meet on Wednesdays. You can meet on Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, whenever. Sometimes just get together and study the Bible. So that's when they meet. The original dream, to plant 50 congregations. 50 congregations over the 20-year plan of this mission effort, 1998 to 2018. That was the original plan, 50, okay? Let that number bounce around a little bit. Because the Lord has blessed this area where we're going back to again, of Tanzania, with over 300 congregations. 300 successful church plants throughout East Africa. But hang on, like an infomercial. But wait, there's more. That goes back to 10 years ago. I mean, the current numbers, I'm working on them. I'm always getting information in. We're always keeping things going. Andrew Connolly School of Preaching, we taught there, my son and I, and son-in-law taught there a little bit when we were there the first time. The School of Preaching has graduated at least 290 faithful evangelists. These men and their families, they go out and they serve no less than 6 different parts of East Africa. So there's 290 faithful evangelists. We've had a part in training some of those. It's beautiful. It's an amazing event to take part in. In addition to the Andrew Connolly School of Preaching, there's 3 Bible schools. There's one in Arusha, Kisongo, and another one in Moshi. And those schools are directed, they're taught, and they're completely operated by faithful, trained Tanzanian men. We've trained them. So now we're teaching others to teach others, or training others to go and do the work that has been started since 1998. And so my job is going to be to oversee the Arusha Bible School. That's my part of it. That's the main reason that they want me back there. I'm going to be overseeing the Arusha Bible School, and this school is going to be open to anyone who desires to learn more about the Lord, learn more about Jesus, learn more about God, learn more about the Bible. It's not going to be deep teaching like it did before in the preaching school. This is for people off the street. They don't know much. They might not even know Romans 16:16. They might not even know churches of Christ greet one another with a holy kiss, right? They might not even know that. So we're opening that up to anyone who would just want to get more Bible knowledge. It's an amazing opportunity that we're going to have. Our hope is that the men that graduate from any of these schools, the Arusha Bible School and Moshi and wherever else, they're going to come to Andrew Connolly and they're going to become preachers one day. 2-year program. It's like I went through. So I'm going to build the curriculum for this 2-year program, and I'm going to teach the teachers how to teach it. That's kind of a task, to teach somebody how to teach. That's hard because everybody has their own atmosphere, their own personality. Mine's kind of a crazy personality. You kind of have to be that way to move to Africa. You got to be kind of goofy sometimes. You just go with the flow because there are no watches. There are no appointments. You can make them, but you rarely keep them. It's Africa. You meet somebody, hey, let's go out and evangelize tomorrow. I'll meet you at this tree at 9:30 in the morning because that's about what time you usually go. 8, 9, and 10 in the morning. And you pull up to the tree, the tree. And you might have to wait there an hour or 2 for whoever is going to be your translator to show up because that's Africa. You just take your watch off. If you go by the clock, you'll go crazy. So you just go with the flow. And God always makes it flow. It doesn't ebb over there, it just flows. So that's just the way it is, and we love it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Why are we needed? These are some of the pictures that's going. This is a 4-story building there, Arusha Bible School. You can see it's kind of run down a little bit. It's Africa, it's Tanzania, East Africa. It's been there for a long time, for quite a while. It's 4 stories, 4 floors, and so this is where we're going to be. Keep in mind, all this has been planned and organized by and funded by the local church. A lot of this is there's some help that comes from a couple of mission-minded individuals back here in the States, directed and taught, and the teaching. It all goes operated by the Tanzanians, by the nationals there. But this is a good example of nations seeing a good thing and duplicating it. And so this is what we're doing right now. This is what's going on. This is the renovation. I don't have a lot of pictures. I didn't want to bore you with a lot of pictures of the renovation of the school. But this is what's going on. Currently, as I'm speaking, they are gutting this place. 4 stories, 4 floors, okay? And we've been given the green light, Susan and I, to do whatever we need to do. How many times do you get that? Just tossed at you. Here's this new amazing business opportunity or whatever you want to call it. It's yours. Green light. Do what you need to. And so that's what we've been given, a green light. And we'll see the needs as they arise over there of what we're going to do. Sewing is a big thing over there. Not with electric sewing machines, by the way. It's these. We provided a bunch. You guys actually helped along with that last time we were there to provide some sewing machines. That's a big thing. So whatever, and everything that we do from the Arusha Bible School will ultimately end up in Bible studies. That's the whole goal. Bring them in, teach them something, let them learn, let them grow. Bible studies along with it, the whole thing. It's all about. If you're not trying to bring souls to Christ, win souls to Christ, what efforts are you making, right? What are we doing if we're not winning souls? If we're not taking them from the devil who stole them from the Lord, then what are we doing? And that's for here too. That's for anywhere that I speak at, anywhere that I go to and share this work with. And so I could say a whole bunch about this. I could say a whole mess of things about this. There's just so much going on. Let me go back a slide there. I do know one thing for certain. God is having his way in Tanzania. 100%. No doubt about it. And so with your prayers and your support, the best is yet to come. You helped me. This congregation actually oversaw my work last time when Susan and I were there. All my funding came through you all. And we I'll report monthly. I always send out monthly reports with pictures and what we're doing and what's going on. The pictures are it's amazing what goes on over there. The Bible studies and the baptisms and the church. And our purpose is not to enable them or Americanize them. We can't do that to the good people of Tanzania. That would destroy them. Honestly, it would ruin them. And so that's not what we're going there for. That's not our purpose. But it's to empower them to self-reliance and self-propagation. So they can do this. That's our goal. We want them to be able to do this. When you hire, if you're a business guy or you hire somebody to come and work in your business, you don't want to have to babysit them until they retire. You want to say, here it is, go get them, right? That's what our goal is. That's what we want to do with the Tanzanians. And so we want to encourage them to be successful church leaders and entrust them to carry on the work, 2 Timothy 2:2, entrust faithful men, right? This is what we want to do. As part of the Tanzanian leadership team, I'm going to train them. I'll train the nationals in the area of church leadership, church planting. Done that. Been there and done that a couple of times. Love it. And in turn, we're shooting for elders. That's a big thing over there. Not a lot of elders in Tanzania, so we're going to shoot to teach and train to become elders and deacons and servants in the Lord's church, leading the way to a huge, amazing, bigger, brighter future for the kingdom throughout all of Tanzania, East Africa, and maybe even the world. Who knows? One of them might come back here and help Raymond and you all evangelize Rio Rancho. You never know. You don't ever close the book on God's plan, because you never know what can happen and what God has in store for us. But we're going to work very closely with the student body, the Tanzanian student body, teaching God's word. I'll be there doing that. We'll be leading by example in the area of leadership, evangelism, outreach, and then in turn, what's going to happen is that the school, Lord willing, will become a beacon of light and a beacon of hope to the lost and the dying, not only in Tanzania, not only in East Africa, but the whole continent of Africa and perhaps the world right here. And so feeding people is a big thing over there. You can get a big bag of rice, like a 75 or 100-pound bag of rice. Massive, ginormous. It's like you're carrying a body on your shoulder. But you can do that. Their main staple, rice and beans. And usually there's a pebble in the rice, and you got to be careful so you don't break your tooth when you're eating. Rice and beans, that's their staple. So through this, what I'll probably be doing is asking our supporters back here in the States, hey, we've got, there's 1.7 million people, right, in Arusha, maybe more. But we do know it's hard to take a census of an anthill, how many ants are in there when you kick it over, right? That's the latest count. But if we can take this 4-story building and on that bottom floor do sowing, have rice and beans and some commodities, there's a lot of, I know it's going to hard to believe, there's a lot of hungry people in Africa. I know, hard to believe, but it's a true story. And so anytime you can, remember what Jesus did? He fed people, didn't he? He got their attention. He fed them. And then what did he do? He loved them and he taught them. Right? And so it's completely biblical. Maybe that's something that we'll do out of the bottom floor of this building. Sewing machines, feeding people, rice and beans, whatever, and that's going to bring them in, and we're going to have an opportunity when we see them to share the gospel with them. And believe me, they love, believe it or not, to hear the gospel. They love to hear the Bible. They'll sit for hours and hours. And I'm on God's clock over there. God's time clock. We don't have clocks. Have cell phones, and half the time they don't work. But we're on God's time. Who cares if it takes 4? It takes a whole day to just walk 10 steps out of that building that I'm going to have access to and teach 75 people. If that's my day, that's my day. But I've reached 75 people, and they're going to go tell probably 275 more people that'll be there tomorrow. Not on time, but they'll be there tomorrow. It's the way it is. We love it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. And so we feel, Susan's actually going to work with the women and the children too. She's great at that, working with teaching the ladies Bible classes. And we did a lot of children's seminars last time. Hundreds of children. The whole time we were there, thousands of children. And you know who brings children to Bible stuff? Parents. So that leaves opportunities for me. While she's teaching children, it leaves opportunities for me to teach the parents. It's amazing the chain of events, the way things happen over there. So That's what Susan gets to do, teaching them what it's like to be a Christian woman and a Christian in the home, which their home is different, no? But how to be a good mama, a good mother, a good wife, a good lady, a good woman in the church to go and spread this to other people. And so we feel most blessed to be part of this exciting opportunity. How long do I have till 10 till 10 about ish? Because I can go through it fast. But I got to tell you how this happened. I have to tell you a story. It's not in my PowerPoint presentation, but I got to tell you. So here I am. I'm working in Portales as a maintenance supervisor at school. Susan's at a pregnancy center in Portales. She runs the Portales branch of the pregnancy center there. A man that he's just very benevolent, and he has access to a lot. And he's been over there. He built a house over there, actually. Probably going to stay in it when we get there. At first. Susan gets a call from this man. We haven't seen him for 6, 7 years. Haven't seen him. Gets a call. How he had her number? That's God's providence, I guess, God's will. Calls Susan up. Hey, I'm going to be in Clovis, New Mexico. He has a part of building every Dollar General in the country. His company has a part of building every single Dollar General. You see Dollar General? This man's stamp is on it somehow. Calls her up. I'm going to be in Clovis. Can we meet? I got some exciting news to share with you. I was coaching junior high basketball. That was a mistake. Well, not really, because I got to be a mentor to junior high kids. But man, if you ever try to coach junior high anything, you got your hands full. But it was worth it. Even had a winning season. Anyway, there's that rabbit. I'm chasing it. I was coaching a game. Susan got the call. So Susan and Haley meet up with this guy's name is Sid. Meet up with Sid. I don't even know where they met, but they met up. I had a short while to meet and talk. So Sid shares all this that's going on, and he says, we really want you guys back in Tanzania. We need you back in Africa. And all this time we're thinking, well, I'll never go back to Africa, but I think about it every day. And I'm not even lying. I'm dying if I'm lying when I say that. I think about it every day, since we came back. We need you back in Africa. Okay, let's set up some meetings. So we flew out to Birmingham, Alabama, I don't know, a month and a half ago. Had a meeting with the eldership there at the congregation, our sponsoring congregation. Now, they oversee all the work. So, long story short, here I am telling you about the work because of that. How awesome is God? Pretty awesome, right? Absolutely. Hey, did I get an amen there? I think I got an amen from somebody. Hey, a bunch of them. But it's amazing. So what we want to do is invite you to team up with us on this amazing, glorious work. Now here's the benefits of supporting foreign mission work. Now don't let your brain get too boggled and crazy on this, because I'm going to talk about stateside stuff too. But I'm a foreign guy right now. The platform of Africa is much larger. But before you say, but what about America? I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you stuff. But it's a much larger platform. I can go out in Africa. If I was in Africa, I'd go out these doors. Nothing against America. Nothing at all against America. God bless America. Amen. But I could go out these doors right now and probably have 50 Bible studies in Tanzania. It's just not like that in America. It's not. And I'll talk about that in a minute. The amount of souls affected is greater, so much greater. Few people desire to be involved. Not many people just say to their wife, hey, let's move back to Africa. Let's quit our jobs and move back to Africa. Did you say that are you married? Did you say that to her yesterday? Let's just move to Africa. You're not thinking about that? Okay, that's what I thought. No, few people want to do this. Not many people. It's scary at times. It really can be. But you can, you might not want to go, and that's fantastic. But you can be one of those who gets involved from here. We need that. You can't go. I'll be your mouthpiece. I'll be your advocate. I'll be the one. Susan and I will be the ones that go over there and represent the Rio Rancho congregation. Hey, who supports you? You're not going to believe this. The congregation that I was baptized in supports our work over here. And that's amazing. You don't even know how far-reaching that is, that Rio Rancho has a part in this. It's amazing. Disclaimers. Here it is. We need stateside mission work too. That's why I planted a church in Pike County, Georgia. Before I moved to Africa, of course. I planted a congregation in Pike County, Georgia. I think you all knew about that too. But I planted a congregation. Now it's a faithful congregation of about 80 people with elders. I think, at one time they had elders. We need church plants right here. We need church workers right here. We need congregations to support stateside work. We need all of that. This is a global outreach. This is a global effort, folks. It's for everybody. Each one teach one. I don't care if it's your backyard or the backseat of an airplane going to Tanzania. Somewhere. We all need to be doing this. How can you help? $1 a week. $1 a week. Can anyone in this building right now, on top of what you're already giving today, or whenever you give, you might give 7 pence on your paychecks twice every other week or whatever. Can anyone in here right now reach in your wallet and take $1 out? Well, everybody uses plastic now, but could you go and put that in your ATM and get $1 out right now? Or your phone? Raymond, hey, wait, what's that? $100,000? Is that what? Oh, wait, whoa, hey. Could everybody do that right now, today? Everybody? And I go to congregations and I talk to leaderships and elderships and I hear this a lot. And I'm not being facetious, I'm not doing anything, but I hear, well, our budget's taxed out. You caught us right in the middle of the year, because I am. It's God's timing for Todd, right? This is the same thing that happened last time. And for my Pike County church plant, we started raising funds in the middle of the year. But God still blessed us amazingly and abundantly. $1. Here's what $1 can do. Can you give up a candy bar today? Or a Coke? Could you give that up today? Pack of gum? Could you give that up today? That's all I'm asking. If a congregation of 200 adults, I don't know what your number is here right now. What's your number? About approximately-ish.
Adults and kids, we bounce back and forth between 80 to 100.
80 to 100. Let's just say 75 adults. Right? 75 adults. But our budget's taxed, preacher. Missionary preacher. Okay. Here, how much can $1 do? You got, say 75. But here, I just put these numbers up there randomly. 75 adults. Would be $75 a day. Would be $150. That's $300 a month. I see your collection box out there, right there, out there. So put one out there that says Todd and Susan, along with that one. $1. You know who loves putting dollars in boxes? Kids. Thank you, kids. $1. I'm not asking for you all to support my whole work, but $1 a day? For 200 adults, that's $800 a month if there's 200 adults. That's just $1 a day. $1 a day. Let's go on for a minute here. How can the brethren help? 5 congregations. If I had, and all this, $52,000, that's just some math I did. 5 congregations of 200 adults is $52,000 a year at $1 a day. See how that adds up? When we started figuring this up, it blew my mind. I'm thinking, because our budget, which is, we got to change our budget for you. I told you about that. I got to change our budget. There's 2 numbers that are wrong. They're elevated that don't need to be, right? That we fat fingered. I made a mistake. Please forgive me, right? I'm human. We fat fingered. So we got to change 2 numbers. Because people see our budget and they go, "Woo! Ah!" And they start freaking out. It's expensive to live there. Vehicle maintenance, airfare back and forth, emergencies. What if I'm glad I wasn't there when COVID broke out in 2020, right? Because we'd have been on that plane like that. But you gotta have it available to do stuff like that. What if I get bit by a black mamba or a speeding cobra when I'm out in the bush doing evangelism? It could happen. I killed a spitting cobra underneath our clothesline last time we lived there. A spitter. Yeah. Silas I still have those glasses. He won't give them back to me. I gave them to him about 3 days ago. Mine, Papa, mine! I had them very glasses on and I had cobra venom on them when I killed it in the backyard. What if I get bit by one? That's expensive. I don't know how much antivenom costs. I don't want to find out the hard way, but it happens. Anyway, how can the brethren help? This is just an example. I'm just giving you an example. That's all I'm doing. How can you be a part of God's great work? $1 a day. Yep. How much will $1 a day do? 200 adults, $1 a day. This is $1 a day. 200. One congregation of 200 people literally could support me over there if they wanted to. That doesn't always happen because they see the budget and they, I already did it. I'm not going to go do it for you again. I'm not asking for all that. Raymond has the budget. The elders have the budget, and I'm not asking for all that. I'm not asking you guys to do that. But I'm just making you an example how it can be done real easily, super easily. All right? How can you help get us there? 5 congregations, 50 congregations. I'm just giving you numbers, and you're welcome to have this PowerPoint if you want. All right. Our goal in no way is to take advantage of anybody. No way. We do not, we will not, we have not in the past, we will not currently, and we will not in the future take advantage of anybody. But can you imagine the impact that $1 makes? Can you imagine that? It doesn't seem like much, but it's way more than what you might think it is. Is $1 to you individually worth thousands of souls saved? Is that worth it to you? $1. Is it worth that for you? It won't even buy a candy bar anymore. $1 won't even buy a Coke anymore. $1 won't even come close to buying a gallon of gas anymore. Not even close. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Is if you can help change the world with your change. It's easy to do. Super easy to do. $1 a day, $1 a week, it'll change lives and it'll help in the efforts in Tanzania. And it's also good for the heart of the homegrown congregations as well. It's very good for the heart of homegrown congregations. When you get back my reports and you go, oh man! And Raymond shares that and we put pictures up here and he says, man, it was 14 baptisms before 11 o'clock on Tuesday. And here's the picture of them. And here's Todd with his pants rolled up, building a coffer dam in the little stream of water that we might have. We had to do that. Get rocks and build it up deep enough to bury and immerse. It's amazing. I pay no attention to bells. They make me bark harder. No, I'm just kidding. And so we're called to seek. Christians are called to seek. Hey, these numbers are right, by the way, right? The numbers that you see up here are right. The personal and the work fund need to be changed on what the elders and Raymond have. Hey Raymond, these are the right numbers.
Oh, good.
This is what we need. It is expensive to be and to go there. But I'm not asking to get rich. I'm not asking to live higher in the hog than you guys are. I'm just asking to be able to survive over there and get back here if I need to and if I have to. Vehicles expensive. The average vehicle service. I work on my own vehicles now. Well, I change oil on them at least. But I can't do the other stuff, the mechanical stuff, because they're out of my league right now. But it's expensive to have a vehicle and have it maintained. Evangelism, it's expensive to go and evangelize, to get materials and do whatever we got to do. Benevolence, we're still very benevolent when we're over there. Office supplies, I got to have stuff to send back to you. Postage, printing, travel, whew, that gets expensive. Furlough, travel gets expensive. Seminars, meetings, repatriation fund. And for when I do finally come back to America and move back here, I need something to move back on. It's like retirement, really. Medical, immigration, work permit, those are expensive. They're all expensive. Personal fund, food, drinking water, no faucets, or you just don't drink out of your tap over there. You don't have a Berkey water filter thing that you can go get water out of the nasty river. You got to buy water, bottled water. And you drink water here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we got to go buy it in bottle. You probably do here too now, but we have to go and buy it there. Housing, retirement, taxes. I got to pay taxes still. Rent, electricity, water, internet. I'll go ahead and disclose this to you. I have a congregation already in Georgia, paid our first year's rent. They went ahead and sent one check. Here, Todd, here's your first year's rent. We want to help you with that. So check that one off. I've already got that taken care of. All right. But our goal, and it is in our way, we do not want to take advantage of anybody. And I'm out of time. But anyway, I don't want to take advantage of you by living some luxurious lifestyle. I'll live in a house. I'm not going to live in a cattle dung hut, okay? I'm going to live in a house. It'll have hard floors, just like you have in your house. We've been there before. We know what it takes to be there. We know what it takes to get there. We know what it takes to live there. We know what it takes to survive there. Travel expenses, doctor visits. If you have to go to the doctor, you better hope it's a good one and it doesn't have witch in front of it. Not like which doctor you're going to go to. Witch with a T, doctor. You hope you don't have to go see one of them. We won't. Don't get scared. I'm not. I don't need you. We don't need you to cover everything. We don't need you to cover all of our funds. But we do need you to help in some way or another. The $1 a day, the $1 a week, the $1 a month. Somehow, some way, if you can do that. Sacrifices are being made. Matt Cook, Freed-Hardeman University. He's an instructor at Freed-Hardeman University. My son-in-law had him when he went to Freed-Hardeman to become a preacher. Says this: you're either a zealous goer, a zealous sender, or disobedient. And that's a true statement. That's a very true statement. Will you help us go? We're willing to go. Will you be willing to help send us to share the cure? The cure being the gospel plan of salvation. Will you help us do that? That's what we're asking. That's where we're at. That's what we're wanting to do. Therefore, if any man is in Christ, he is a new creature. The old things passed away, behold, new things have come. Now all these things are from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us ministry of reconciliation. Therefore, we are ambassadors for Christ. We all are, in some form or another. Amen. We're ambassadors, thank you. We're ambassadors for Christ, as though God were entreating through us. We beg you on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God. 2 Corinthians 5:17 and 18 and 20. There's the short version. Do you want the long version? I'll start over. That's just the short version of Susan and I and our journey, our next phase of life, our journey. We've done this before. I got to tell you, it was nerve-wracking before. We sent a container over there. That was expensive. We took bins of stuff over there. That was expensive. We've done all that before. Now we've been there, and it's even gotten better over there since we came back 7 years ago. Was it 7 or 8? 5? Seems like forever ago. 5 years ago since we came back. I don't have the expense. I'm not taking a container over there this time. I'm not going to do it. We can get what we need there. We can be minimalists, and that's what we will be there. Except I will have a coffee press and something to heat my coffee water with. So anyway, there's where we go. Oh, one last thing, and then I'll shut up until I get up here. Then you got to listen to me some more, and then hopefully it'll be good. That picture that you see right there, I need to tell you something about that picture. That's Mount Meru, okay? 12,000 feet, 13,000, about 13,000. And in the background, you can't see it, but when you're looking at it on the right and left hand, on the background, sometimes you can see snow-capped Kilimanjaro if the clouds aren't covering it. Gorgeous, absolutely phenomenal. This picture right here, and you get that view everywhere over there. But this one in particular was from where we stayed at the last time we were there. And I'm not trying to make you jealous, but that's what I get to look at when I have my coffee in the mornings or in the evenings. That's Mount Meru right there, and we're right there at the foot of that. It's beautiful. It's frustrating sometimes. It's scary sometimes. But you do what you got to do in order to go seek and save the lost and save souls and teach them. You do what you got to do. Listen, we love you. We love you very much. My heart has always beat harder for the Rio Rancho Church of Christ than any other place, because this is where Susan and my home is. This is where we began our journey. This is where we started. And who knows? I'm not giving an invitation right now. I'm done. Someone else might start their journey just like Susan and I. Who would have thunk in 1998 that this is where Susan and I would have been? I've been a preacher since 2000. From this congregation, right here. From this congregation. Who knows? God does. Listen, anyway, I'm done. Can you pray with me real quick? Our Father in heaven, we love you. We thank you. We're so grateful for the time we can spend with our family here. We just ask, Lord, that you would watch over us all diligently as we watch over ourselves and keep an eye on one another. That's what brethren do. We love each other. But more so than that, we love you because you gave us your one and only, unique, begotten Son to take away the sins of the world at the cross. We're so thankful, Lord, that you are allowing Susan and I to have an opportunity again to go back and do the great work that we love to do that is so necessary. But we need workers all over the world, Lord, starting right here. Please, Lord, send us to a soul each day that we can at least encourage and love and begin a relationship and then teach. Thank you for loving us always. In Jesus' name we pray, and amen.